We're here at the 2021 King of the Hammers race. We're already dirty, we're all settled in.
So when we get here, the first thing we do is we set up this garage. We've got to get the tarps down, get the lights up, get everything set so we can work on the cars all week.
We took the car out this morning, ran it a little bit. We were working with some plumbing issues that we got handled, and they're all good now. So now we're just dialing in our brakes, and then we'll be ready for qualifying the big car in the morning.
So this is really, really cool. Tommy Dykstra is a customer who saw what I did last year by finishing the 4400 class in a Genright Jeep. He bought all the parts and built it himself in his garage and already qualified to race in the 4400 class. So his Jeep's ready, and I think it's awesome, and I wish him the best for sure. Both of these cars are running R1 Concepts big brake kit. These are their monster calipers and rotors, and that's what it takes to stop a giant tire like these. You know, these are 40-inch tires, and you got a big heavy vehicle behind it. You need some braking power, and R1 has the setup.
So again, this year I had quite a cool opportunity. I was asked by the factory Honda off-road team to drive one of their Talons at this year's King of the Hammers. It was something different. I've honestly never spent really any time in the UTV other than once in Moab with the Rockstar crew. I think before I jumped in the Honda for the first time, I maybe had 4 hours of driving any UTV of any kind ever. So it was, again, a learning experience. You know, I luckily know a lot of the Hammers trails. I know the desert out there, I know the terrain. It was just a matter of me learning that car, learning how it worked, learning where I could push it to, you know, what's gonna break the car. I'm not gonna lie, there was some points of doubt, like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna make this, and sure enough, we would just shoot right up it or get right over it. It was pretty amazing what those cars will do, and just UTVs in general, you know, those, I think I, as well as a lot of other people, have underestimated what those things are capable of for a lot of years. Getting that first-hand experience in one and racing one was honestly totally awesome, and I would love to do it again in the future.
Tomorrow morning, both Tommy and Jordan will go out and qualify on a short course that's combined of jumps, berms, and then they go through the rocks, and that qualifies them for their start position. That's where you figure out how many guys' dust do I have to eat, or can I be up at the front with clean air and running away from the rest of them that are fighting the dust.
So the course is super gnarly this year. It shares the same part of the same course that the trophy trucks are running, so it is beat. All the desert portions are super blown out. The rocks are, just as aggressive as always. We're going up one of the super steep rock faces that we usually go down. It's a lot shorter course this year, so it's going to be important to make sure we nail every point on that course, because if there's a point where we lose time, there's really no opportunity to gain that time back during our run. So a smooth, clean run is going to be super important. Had quite the exciting race day. Right off the start, we were having mechanical problems with our front diff pump, which causes the front diff to overheat rather quickly without that pump and without the cooler in the system. So that definitely changed my mindset right off the start almost. It was a lot earlier in the race than I was ready for something like that, but I just knew we had to kind of go into survival mode and just keep the car moving, keep it alive, and not damage it along the way or compromise it for the rest of the race.
All right, on race day, what I do is I chase the race car in our Genright Terremoto. It's a lot of fun taking shortcuts and everything without getting on the race course, because you could get DNF for that. It's a huge penalty, and still get eyes on the car. That's my main thing, is I want eyes on the car. Eventually at about mile 100, ended up having to call it a day because his throttle pedal wasn't working anymore. He's got what they call a fly-by-wire throttle pedal that is run by the computer, and it just stopped working, and he was getting to the very technical section of the race course through the rocks, and it was just not going to go well, so he pulled the plug, and that was the end of his day. We knew already, based on the amount of oil that had pushed out of the front differential, that the pump was not working. So now it was up to Jordan to manage the temperature of that front differential by slowing down, and then send them on to main pit, where they had the extra parts and everything they could to work on it and get it fixed.
We got moving again, but then we were behind a lot of people, going into those first rock trails, Spooners, Outer Limits. So we get to idle issues on lap 2 after Chocolate Thunder, and there's a car rolled over right in the middle of our line.
because once they had that front differential problem, they had to make up time, and that really put them in a different spot in the race where they were caught in other traffic.
It's really easy to run the trails, but on race day, it's twice as hard to run any single one of these trails when you have cars broken, cars upside down, people scattered all over the trail. Everything's just constantly changing. It was pretty exciting, it's been a couple years since we've made it all the way to the finish, especially in 4400 class. Like it's no joke. That lap 3 is, you have to give it every bit of energy you have left in order to, drive the car all the way to the finish.
Oh my God.
My co-driver Gunnar did a great job out there helping me, scout, helping us get through the field of broken cars. But we made it all the way, and on fumes, but we made it.
I can't say enough about how well the team worked and coordinated in each of the pits, and all of that contributes to Jordan getting to the finish line.
Couldn't tell you why we struggled so hard at the end, but we did, but still, we got through it, so we made it.
I think I had the right mindset this year to get us to the finish. We did exactly what we needed to do, and it felt so good to get that finish again after 2 years of not finishing at Hammers. This was my 4th attempt at the 4400 class and 2nd finish in 4400. So, you know, I'm glad I could bring it home for the team, the sponsors, myself. I think it, you know, brought a lot of spirits up that were down after the last couple of years. So I'm excited to see where we can keep the ball rolling from here.